have a nice little discussion about how do we empower the next generation. So a big round of applause to our awardees. Let's bring Max back to the stage.
Congrats again to you both. So now we can have a little discussion. These are some of the fun things that, it's great to hear different perspectives in sustainability. It's a field that's grown so tremendously over, the last 15 to 20 years, really come into its own. You all have had different experiences as far as areas of sustainability you focus into. It's such a broad field, a lot of different areas. But before we get to your GreenLight experience, I wanted to ask just maybe a couple nerdy industry specific questions. So Danielle, specific to EV charging, is there anything you can tell us about the challenges of building out that massive infrastructure needed to either supplement or replace the gas station infrastructure?
Yes, definitely. So I guess for context too, so our project, we worked on connecting two groups of people. So there's individuals out there who own EVs and they may not be able to charge in their homes because maybe they rent or they're there temporarily. But there's also people who are homeowners and they also have EVs and they have EV charging infrastructure within their homes. So the CEO of our company that we worked with, his name's Aaron Lieberman, the innovator that he falls into that latter category. So he has an EV and he also has that charging at his home, but he found that he only charges twice a week. So he thought, is there any way that I could potentially let a neighbor use my charger to increase that accessibility for EV charging? So he created this app that allows those two groups of people to be connected together. So we found that with our outreach, we started with in-person outreach at various superchargers to promote the app, right? And so talking to these people, we found that it's kind of interesting because there's also people who are quite into this idea, but there's also a lot of people who might be a little hesitant and there's pushback there because, the common concern was, I don't want some random stranger in my house, or I don't want someone charging that I don't know. And so I would say with EV infrastructure, there's an issue of accessibility. And so there's a lot of potential there, but we need to be changing attitudes with sharing like our current infrastructures because we aren't able to maybe build, millions of superchargers currently. So we need to be really creative with the solutions we come up now. So there's a lot of opportunity there, but we still have a long way to go. So, yeah.
Excellent. And similarly, Taylor, there's been a lot of developments in the work from home world, certainly over the last 3 to 4 years. Just anecdotally, I live in Los Angeles. I've noticed the highways are busier than ever. Feels like commuting just as much, if not more, than they used to. But there's been some trends that have stuck around. I guess from the disruption of the pandemic, some good, some bad. Tell us about sort of how that world is developing and your experience with it.
That is like an interesting field that's definitely we've all had to tackle with COVID. We all had to change our habits. When the pandemic hit, we had to change how we lived our lives normally. And that kind of exemplifies sustainability as well. It's kind of just based on changing your normal habits and adapting to new things that previously you didn't have to, and having to realize the impact of that as well. The pandemic, we saw that there's a dramatic impact of what we do as humans on the planet, and that's the same to go for sustainability as well. So in terms of work from home, there's obviously a lot. People are working from home now and also going back to work, and it's kind of just realizing that we do need to change our habits, and it's just a matter of time before anything like another pandemic or another dramatic global change happens again. So I'm hoping that with guys that we created with LocalFi, that we can not only spread to just businesses, organizations, but students just everywhere across the world, just making it accessible for everyone. It's just even more possible that it is a global thing that we're all a part of, no matter where you work, no matter where you go to school. It's just everyone's all in this together. So it's really up to everyone to make those individual changes like we did in the past.
Right. The workforce continues to develop specifically in sustainability for you both. Your just about to be entering the workforce. You have some of this applied experience that you've gotten from GreenLight. Just for the audience, can you shed a little bit of light on your thoughts on the current workforce and sustainability, how you feel stepping into it, and perhaps how GreenLight affected essentially where you see yourself now and where you want to go?
Oh, yeah. And so I think there's also within sustainability, or honestly, just any field in general, there are some people who maybe know what they want to do from a very early age. Maybe like, you're passionate, you're driven from the age of 12, so you know what you want to do. There's also people who, are still trying to explore and find, many opportunities of what they could potentially do in the future. So I find myself falling into that latter category. And so it's really interesting because the field of sustainability, as many of you probably know in this room, it touches on so many different things. So, there's that potential fear of there's so many things, what do I do? There's also the nice thing, which is there's so many things that you can do. And so the nice thing about GreenLight is that it allowed me to, and I think I'm assuming to many of our other team members, but it gave us the opportunity to really explore several different facets of sustainability and what it has to offer. So I felt very fortunate with my team. We were able to participate and kind of try out an amalgamation of different things. So whether that be in-person outreach at those superchargers and talking to people one-on-one, or also doing online outreach where you're just sending messages to people, trying to get them to promote the app through Facebook. And so, or even, creating social media posts. And so I could go on and on. But so the nice thing about GreenLight is it gives you the opportunity to try all those things out. And so and it gives you room to, try different things, and it narrows down it helps narrow down your interests. So that's how I found, the power of GreenLight. That's how it helped me.
Or do you have a similar experience?
Definitely. Just to share, like from where I came from, I went to UCLA as well for undergrad. I got my bachelor's in environmental science. And I didn't know what sustainability was as a concept. I went there just because I really enjoy environmental science. I knew there was a global impact and much to do, but I didn't know where to go from that. So coming into my senior year graduating, I was introduced to corporate sustainability, and that there was even a field in the workspace of being able to collaborate with businesses and helping them minimize their impact. So that just inspired me even more. And then coming here to ASU with their amazing master's program, I've been provided and been exposed to so many different people that have inspired me as well to just know that there's so much to do in this space, which kind of leads me to what she was saying. It's pretty overwhelming. I think you can ask any sustainability student. It's very overwhelming, this space. There's so much to do. There's so many different projects, so many ideas, but it's kind of like, where do I even start? So I think not only ASU, but GreenLight really helps with that. It gives you direction. It gives you different projects and different skill sets you can work on, and then later apply when you're applying for jobs, getting to work with different people, working with Localfy as well. It's a great company, Kim and Isaac, getting to collaborate with them just as business leaders. I've learned so much from them as well. And they given me so many skills that I will implement when I'm working and going into workforce. And what I'm most exciting about just from working with them as well is collaborating with different people that don't work in sustainability, entrepreneurs, stakeholders that don't have the background I have, but getting to learn from them as well and getting their experience, and then being able to create amazing ideas and innovation together that we can both implement. So I really am glad that I had that experience with Localfy and GreenLight as well from that.
So starting with a breadth of experience and then getting exposed to that and ultimately going in depth into one or a couple of chosen areas. In a similar vein, if you could pass on one thing to the next generation of sustainability solutioneers, very apropos for our theme tonight of empowering the next generation, what would be that one thing that you would pass on to those future solutioneers?
Well, I would say during my time here too, I would say don't forget to have fun. So that might sound juvenile, but what I mean by that is that oftentimes in the sustainability space, you're really dealing with hard, heavy, serious issues, right? And so, and the work that we all do is so meaningful, but sometimes if, that overwhelming weight of the world gets too much, then you lose sight of why you're even doing this. So we need to prioritize working in this space in a sustainable way, right? And so that's so to have fun is to, remember why you're doing this and remember, why you got into this space in the first place and the results the meaningful results that come out of this experience is just so that's the crucial in how we create change in this world. And so I would say, don't forget to have fun.
Taylor?
I would definitely piggyback off that. I feel like as students and just people in general, we definitely get lost in the work sometimes and then we lose the fun out of it. But definitely I wanted to keep with my team and with my project partners just to enjoy the work we're doing. It's really impactful for not only us, but the deliverables that we make. So yeah, just to have fun, like we're doing it and we're inspiring more people. So there's a lot of good in it. I would also say as well, just that there's so much to learn. Like it's not only a sustainability as a role, it's just to inspire other people, just to learn about it, to implement in their lives, but also learn from the people around you. I learned so much from Isaac, and I'm so excited to learn from more people that I get to collaborate with in the future. So there's so much that you can apply to yourself that's just not just sustainability, but it's also working with other people, collaborating, making new ideas. So there's way more to bring in all together just from working in projects and working with so many different people with different perspectives.
Great, and similarly sort of distilling it down, the student program is just $5 a month. We have multiple students on scholarship. There's a lot more that's needed to allow these programs to run. We have many people in the audience, donors, sponsors, who ultimately enable these programs to happen, many more online and who aren't here today. What would you say to those folks as a pitch for ultimately the value that you see and why it's important that these programs continue to run?
Right, so I'll say whether it be a $5 donation or with the student program paying $5 or $10, $100, or whatever you want to, donate, that'll probably be the best investment you'll make in your life. So kind of tying it back to the name of this event, with that donation, it's honestly just more than money, but you are empowering the next generation. So you're giving them an opportunity that has been bestowed upon us. So getting the chance to try different things and work on real life sustainability projects that improve the world, one project cycle at a time, but it's really motivational. And you're basically investing in our future. And so, that might sound like a big, ask, but anything helps. And so your contributions, no matter how small or little, it will make a difference. And you see that reflected in the work that all these students do, within the past 10 decades. If you look on, their website and the blog posts, I wanted to pitch that too. It's really cool. But seeing all the work that has been done and that will happen, in the next decade or however long, GreenLight will last. But the contributions are directly kind of reflected in the amazing work. So that's my pitch.
I mean, that was an amazing response. I don't even know how to be better than that. Like literally even just us sitting here right now and being able to talk about this and have this opportunities of those donations and just all the work from the donors and the sponsors. So I can only speak for myself, but all the students that are involved in GreenLight and just the students in the past, in the future, all of it, all of the work that we're being able to implement, and then even in our future careers, what we get from this experience is all coming back from that. So I just say personally thank you, but I know there's just way more things that are going to come from it. So I'm just really glad that we got the opportunity to accept that and be a part of it.
You heard it from them. Danielle, Taylor, thanks very much.